Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me for another Wellbeing Messengers Thrive Vibe, where we talk about how to calm the chaos, reclaim your time, and transform the way that you experience your world. What do you do when you feel like giving up? For some people, this is simple. They just give up. But others committed to the task really do push forward in complete misery, but it comes at a big cost, right? In this episode, we're going to talk about when giving up is the right thing to do. Most of the time, we ignore all those signs that tell us when it's okay to walk away because of our commitment and our loyalty, our self judgment, or the judgment of others, and of course, that sense of responsibility or obligation. I'm Carmen Perez, the Wellbeing Messenger and the creator of the lifestyle blog for high achieving women in business who want to live more mindfully and achieve more balance while creating a life worth living. Do you ever feel like giving up but didn't because you were afraid of what others would think of you, or worse, what you would think of yourself? It's important to look at how you feel about what you commit to doing, because accomplishment means nothing if you don't enjoy the journey, right? The process of making it happen. Too often, we don't allow ourselves to take an honest look about how we feel about the goals we aspire to achieve, right? And when we do that, we could end up with everything that we want, but nothing that we need. You know what I mean? Like maybe we achieve some great level of success and have a lot of money, but no good friends and maybe no mate by your side to walk the path with you. And that doesn't feel very satisfying, right? It's really important to create goals for what they make of you and not what they get you. And unfortunately, I think we have it all a little twisted too often. This is where so many people get going after their dreams so wrong. Because of the pressures, we often choose the goals and actions that seem good for us in the short term without considering the long term. What we do today impacts our days tomorrow. And to serve at our highest and best self and interests, we must do our best to create goals that are in alignment with what serves us in the long run, right? We can't just think about what's going to make us feel good in the next hour or two, because sometimes that leads to some disastrous stuff. What we need to think about is what I need to do or want to do good for me in the long term? Is it in alignment with what I want for myself? Is it going to be the healthier choice for me? Is it going to be the wealthier choice for me? And is it going to be the happy choice for me? These are things that we have to lead with. I had this really big idea when I was 10 years old, and it was that I would become the 24-hour woman as defined by Revlon in the 1970s. Of course, this was the big boom of the women's movement, and women were heading out to work, and all these were good things. So I too wanted to bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan, and take care of my family and my man, all while looking and smelling amazing. If you don't know, it was an old perfume commercial. This dream or idea seriously held its grip on my heart and soul. And it wasn't until I almost lost my life for it did I ask myself, is that what I really want? I worked long and hard days at the office, cooked most meals, handled all of the cleaning and shopping. Yeah, I was completely overwhelmed. And I think if I were to say I was frustrated, that would be an understatement. I was afraid to ask for help or give up on my idea of doing and having it all, even when I felt it was too much. Everything always had to be just so, I mean, absolute perfection is what I wanted more than anything. I wanted it all to look just like that commercial. But then I got sick and everything fell apart, and I felt like a failure and beat myself up. And then when I was recovering and I felt better, I tried to do it all again. And again, I became angry and resentful about my load. It just wasn't worth it. Thank goodness, during my recovery from neurological Lyme disease, I quickly realized The sacrifice for my big dream of being a 24-hour perfect woman was just too much to keep up that illusion. I had to recognize my priorities, give some things up, and start asking for help. I wanted more energy and time with my family when I didn't feel exhausted and stressed out. I wanted to be my best when I was with them and my friends, but keeping up the illusion didn't allow me to do so. But I was afraid. Everyone I knew I recovered, but things just weren't the same. I wasn't the same. My priorities really did shift. If I didn't keep it up, I feared that my family would be disappointed and the others would judge me. So if you feel disgruntled, depleted, or disconnected while doing the things that you have to do to accomplish your dream, it might be time to walk away without feeling like a quitter. And I want to add that, without feeling like a quitter. Now, that isn't to say that you shouldn't work hard for what you want. Most things worth achieving take consistent effort when it comes to accomplishing what you want. It doesn't matter how long it takes. What matters is your level of engagement, enthusiasm, and that you enjoy the journey, because the journey is all there is. There are 3 signs I realized first in myself and that I often see when working with my coaching clients. Each sign tells me it may be time to walk away, and perhaps they should, but if they do so, they should do so without feeling like they've given up or quit on something or that they're a failure. The first sign is that you don't get a pleasurable boost to your energy by thinking about the work that has to be done to accomplish your dream or goal. Every time you think or speak about your big idea, it will make you feel charged and excited. Your priorities will never get lost in the chaos, and you won't have to come up for excuses why things just didn't get done. You always have energy, money, and time to make it happen. If not, you may want to consider moving on. It may not be as important as you first thought it was when you started your goal, okay? So I shared with you my story of wanting to be the 24-hour woman and how it was just too much and it no longer made me feel good and it sucked me dry of my health, wealth, and happiness. And sometimes it's okay to give yourself permission to walk away. And when you do it with love. I mean, yes, I'm still a bit OCD and a bit of a perfectionist, but I no longer hold myself up to those same standards that I did 10 years ago when everything happened. The second sign that you may want to give up with love is that you become unhappy thinking about working on the things that you have to do to achieve your goal. If you hate what you're doing, right, the actual task that it takes to achieve your goal, then you may want to find another goal. There are things we must do to make our dreams a reality that we may not like. However, if we cannot change the way we feel about what we must do by accepting the end justifies the means, then we should move on without being upset and complaining about it, okay? As an example, I'd like to share the story of a private coaching client that I had who worked tirelessly to achieve sales recognition at her company. She put everything that she had into it. We worked together. She established her goals. She seemed really connected to what she wanted. But in the end, when she was on stage receiving her certificate for her accomplishment, she realized that she really didn't enjoy it. It didn't feel as rewarding or satisfying as she hoped. That was because she really didn't enjoy the journey. She gave up too much to accomplish that goal. And a lot of times we do that. We work so hard at things that we forget to check in and see that we're not hurting ourselves by affecting the way that we feel, right? Our health, wealth, and happiness is everything. And oftentimes we take on goals that will force us to sacrifice them. And those aren't decisions we should have to make. The third sign that you may want to walk away with love is that you just don't have the energy or the time to accomplish everything you want to do right now. If it's time to take action and do the work to make your goal a reality, but you just can't because you have too many other things going on, you may want to put that dream on hold, okay? Not forever, but just until you have space in your life to energetically take on a big project. It's really funny. I had this lifelong goal on my list of things that I wanted to do to learn Chinese. Why? I don't know, but I did. And I committed to it. I started, but I did it in the midst of starting a new business and getting my things, my home, my office together. And it was just too much. And I remember sitting there and practicing and doing my lessons and thinking, what are you doing? Like, I get it. This is a lifelong dream, but it's a passion goal. It's not one that's a serious priority, and I can do it at any time. Why am I forcing myself to do it now? So here we are, almost 10 years later, and I still haven't made time to learn Chinese. In fact, I took it off my list completely, and I did it with love. I didn't beat myself up, feel like a quitter or a failure. My priorities and my dreams changed since I put that goal on my list, and so I'm happy that I gave myself permission to let it go instead of forcing myself through it. So here's the deal. We only have a certain amount of time and energy on this earth, and it's important that you make the best investment of both to do the things that are going to fulfill you and invigorate you and bring more meaning to your life. That happens when you work on a meaningful goal that is going to make a difference for the better in your life. Yes, you will stay up late and wake up early to make it happen, but you'll always do so knowing that all the energy and time is worth it. I'd love to hear about you and your experiences with wanting to walk away. How did you do it? Were you able to walk away with grace, or did you do it feeling like you were a quitter? On this journey of life, there is nothing more important than your health, wealth, and happiness. And tune in to what you want and be the ruthless advocate of your joy. Please share your ahas, comments, and thoughts here or by emailing me at carmen@wellbeingmessenger.com. And if you're ready to gain clarity on your priorities so you can achieve more of what you want, visit wellbeingmessengergift.com to gain access to the essential guide to creating priorities that matter. So I hope the information, insights, and inspiration I share with you helps you calm the chaos, reclaim your time, and transform the way that you experience your world for the better, my friend. This is Carmen Perez, the Wellbeing Messenger, signing off. Until next time, live with passion, purpose, and play.